Continuing on from question 5 of logical reasoning drill set number 11 over at lawhub.lsac.org, we've got question 6, and it has a pretty straightforward question to ask. Which one of the following principles, if valid, most helps to justify the reasoning above? And if you've watched other Justify with a Principle question explanation videos from us at My Guru, you probably know that we often call these fancy strengthens. So all I need to do, even though it's got this concept of a principle, is I've got to go find what the conclusion is in the paragraph, mentally predict what broad information might strengthen that conclusion based on the evidence presented, and then go to the answer choices looking for something that's a bit more abstract, kind of more philosophical as a way to strengthen that relationship or justify it with a principle. So we'll read the paragraph from the top and we're going to highlight just the conclusion after reading the argument in full. Although annoying and a serious waste of paper, postal junk mail does not interfere with the recipient's mail service. By contrast, a large amount of junk email can overload a recipient's email service so that none of the recipient's email is accessible. Thus, whether or not legal restrictions on postal junk mail are justified, there should be such restrictions on sending junk email. So, we're going to just highlight everything after the thus. Well, and including the thus. You don't need the thus, but you can have it. It's not a huge problem if it's a little bit of overlap in your highlight. You don't need to be perfect with something that has this clear of a conclusion. So now we just need to find an answer choice that says, because the junk email basically makes it so that you can't get any email, makes it so that you need to restrict legally sending junk email, regardless of the postal junk mail situation. So that's what we've got in our mental prediction, and we're going to go to our answer choices looking for a common wrong argument, task, reasons to eliminate of things that would actually weaken the idea that we should restrict legally sending junk email, things that need additional information to relate to this conclusion about junk email, and answer choices that have vague qualifiers or quantifiers that I can't even define to relate meaningfully to this argument about restrictions on sending junk email. So, starting with choice A, legal restrictions should be placed on a form of communication only if one can negatively affect other people by using it. Negatively affecting other people? Like how? I mean, it's about the email becoming inaccessible, not about like negatively affecting the other people themselves. Furthermore, only if one can affect it. Like, well, we don't even know if the junk email does negatively affect other people in a meaningful way. I mean, it affects their email, but again, how does that have to deal with the people themselves? So choice A is going to need additional information. It's also actually something that goes way too far beyond what the principle should be concerned with. It's rare to see an extreme answer choice for an argument task, but it can happen, and A probably fits under that construct as well. Then choice B, legal restrictions should be placed on any form of communication that might interfere with a recipient's ability to receive communication. Well, ding, 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 that is exactly what would strengthen the conclusion about the recipient email becoming inaccessible. And so B is our correct answer. With our mental prediction, hopefully it focuses us on why B is right. You remember, we can highlight reasons to eliminate and select. And if you select B at this point in your process, hopefully on the exam you go very briskly through C, D, and E. But for the purpose of this video, we will of course find specific reasons to eliminate each of them. C reads, if legal restrictions on postal junk mail are justified, then legal restrictions should be placed on all forms of communication, like the telephone? What? C is eliminated, hopefully almost immediately, is just going way too far beyond the structure of this argument, needs additional information to relate back to email specifically, also kind of extreme again. C, several reasons to eliminate. Choice D, legal restrictions can be placed on a form of communication even if it does not have the potential to produce serious problems for the whole society. Okay, well, like, is losing email service going to affect all of society or not affect all of society? I don't know. This needs a bunch of additional information. Goodbye to choice D. And then choice E, legal restrictions should be placed on a form of communication only if doing so would make that form of communication more efficient. Well, I don't know that this actually makes email more efficient. Again, needs additional information. I'm not spending a lot of time on CD&E, hopefully, because I probably, and hopefully when you were working through this problem on your own, you were able to identify B as really hitting right in the middle of what we needed to strengthen that argument, which allows us to address a justify with a principle question as expeditiously as possible for number 6 here in drill 711, and hopefully for additional justify with a principle or fancy strengthened questions you encounter in the future in your additional LSAT logical reasoning practice and, of course, on your test day.